Talk about your view of the role that mobility plays for Microsoft, both in the tablet world, on the mobile device world, and it's been a place where Microsoft has struggled in over the last, I don't know what time period, year or 2 years, or since Windows 6.5, to maintain a kind of to be in as strong a position as you might like. The software is getting really good reviews.
Well, I think that a couple of points. One, I think the company clearly believes that mobile computing is an essential component of it, and
right.
There's sort of no question about that. I mean, if anything, when I'll say in the mid-2000 decade, I think the company sort of took its eye off the ball on a couple of these things. We had, in the early part of that, we were working through all the security challenges.
Right.
Those challenges are yet to come for most of the people in the industry, including the mobile industry. But
right.
So we've spent a bunch on that. We had a protracted development cycle in our mainline products with Windows.
Yes.
And so during that period, where we had leadership products, I mean, at least in the marketplace, in phones and tablets and other things, we unfortunately just didn't capitalize on them then, and that left a big opportunity which Apple was able to take advantage of.
Well, and not just Apple, but Android as well.
Yeah.
Although later.
That's much more recent, and interestingly, the way I think about it, the battle, even for just the confined world of mobile smartphones, is just really being joined, because I think globally the penetration is like 2%. So most people, particularly if they have a U.S.-centric view of things,
right.
tend to say, well, gee, look, so far a lot of people have bought A, B, or C. But the replacement cycle on these phones is pretty short.
2 years.
Actually shorter than PCs by a factor of
right.
1.5 to 2.
Well, the contracts are 2 years in the
right.
U.S. at least.
And I'm just saying, but the
right.
PC cycle, for a long time was 3 years,
right.
then kind of extended to 4.
Right.
But, so I mean, your potential recovery rate is twice as fast
right.
there. The other thing I think is, you're starting to see, I'll say, the emergence again of the three models that we saw present in the PC space. There was Apple, who was there in the very beginning, but
right.
had a vertically integrated one.
Exactly.
Then there was Unix, which became Linux, from workstations and into PCs. And then there's the managed model that Microsoft has always,
right.
favored. And so I think it's interesting now that in the mobile space, you now start to say, oh, there's the Apple one, there's the Android, which is the new Linux, and there's this one. And if you think that the market is actually only 2% penetrated globally, and scale ultimately matters, then you say, well, in reality, it's early days. And we've basically been believing this since I started doing this in the mid-90s at Microsoft, is that as all these device categories get smart and connected, at the end of the day, having them all be disjointed is not going to be an effective solution. And so I think the other part of the game is going to be, can you actually bring together an ecosystem of these devices in ways that are complementary? And that's where I think we actually have a strategic advantage in this next period.
So in terms of being able to relate up the stack to larger
your
devices?
Phone, your car, your game consoles,
right.
your televisions,
and have a single
everything else.
experience.
Have an experience that orchestrates the cloud, in a sense, the services
right.
behind it, provides for the first time a scale orchestration
right.
facility.
Now, Apple certainly is trying to do some of that, right? I mean,
the point I'm trying to make is there's going to be there's quite a broad array of these categories,
right?
And like it or not, right now we're the only company who has the indigenous facilities for the cloud
yep.
component, and we're the only company with, I'll call, a credible entrant in every category.